Well, Graham Stewart is the MP for Beverley and Holderness, former Energy and Climate Minister in the last Conservative government, and he's here with us now. Mr Stewart, good evening to you. You said in November last year, I share the enthusiasm for onshore wind. Is that still your view? Do you agree with Mr Miliband?
Yes, I do. I want to see more onshore wind. It's got increasingly cheap. It can help our energy security. But where I disagree with Ed is he hasn't learned the lessons from the past. If you look back, why did we bring a moratorium? Because the distant inspectorate in Bristol would overrule local communities like mine and not listen. And it seems that Ed Miliband wants to do that, double down on that. He thinks he knows best. If you don't work with the grain of local communities, if you don't persuade and bring them with you,
so have you got to bribe them? Have you got to reward them? Is that what
I do support that. I think he's carrying on the work which happened under us to make sure that if you do host this infrastructure, you should be rewarded for doing so.
But what about those people who don't want them? Because he's saying, "Oh, I'll listen to local people, but the local council won't make the decision. I'll make the decision." In other words, it's going to happen and railroad through.
Exactly, and I think that is the wrong approach. You get a backlash. You've got to work with people, not just impose from above. That's what he wants to do. In the past, that's what happened. And I remember in this area, Peter, talking to developers and saying, this is crazy. And they say, well, it's not a problem. Okay. We get permission from the inspector. It's backed by the government. And I said, if you, in a democracy, if you don't listen to people, if you just railroad them, you'll take people who would have been neutral or possibly even supportive, and you'll turn them into protesters and enemies.
Was your government wrong to tighten planning regulations?
Yeah, absolutely. In my opinion, it was, yes.
So you got it wrong?
It was a backlash against an overly,
because you were pandering to people.
It was we didn't get it right, and that's why when I was the energy minister, I looked to change that. I want to see onshore wind. I don't think Ed's getting it right. He's going back too far the other way again, and we're swinging from one extreme position to the other. You've got to listen to people.
People are already writing to me about bills. Ed Miliband says bills will come down. The Conservative Energy Minister Claire Coutinho says the plans will push the bills even higher. Who is right, Claire Coutinho or Ed Miliband?
Ed Miliband is rushing in an artificial deadline of 2030. It can't be done. It can't be built on time, and like anything that's rushed and for which we don't have the proper resources in place, it will be needlessly expensive. You'll have noticed, Peter, that in the election they promised they were going to cut energy bills by £300. I think he was pushed by our journalists today to repeat it, but in truth the NISO report, the big report a couple of weeks ago, shows that that's not going to happen. Bills are going to go up for people, and we risk losing public support if we don't say it like it is and listen to people in the local area. People in Skiralugh and Long Riston have a better idea of their environment than Ed Miliband ever will.
Very good to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Keen to get people's views on this.